people and look out for my community. If you'd like to learn how you too can serve part-time in the community you love, visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard, aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. This is The Drive with Trey Radel.
.504 here on 92.5 Fox News. Trey Radel, your host of The Drive. Look at us, those of you streaming us, those of you listen to us. We are here live on this Memorial Day. Say hi, Ian and Katrina, for all the people just joining us, streaming in. We stream on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. I don't know how much longer. I will tell you about the warnings in a second. First of all, I'm going to get thrown in Facebook jail, people. But let's talk about freedom. I just want to take a moment to recognize that this is Memorial Day. It is undoubtedly a solemn day that we remember sacrifice. We remember the lives lost by the great men and women of our armed forces who fought for our country to give us what we have here today. And that includes us having freedom of speech, a political talk show, as occasionally choked as we may feel. It is men and women who fought for our freedom, giving us this wonderful country that we have today and continue to have. And I don't care how bad things ever feel, how you might feel, oh my gosh, the left is ruining this country, the left this, the left that. The reality is this country is still phenomenal. We are dynamic. We are booming. We are a great country. And you know what? We live in a great state. We are in the state of Florida, who has shown the world what we can do when we focus and move ahead, not getting caught up in all the negativity and the insanity that is thrown at us every single day from the mainstream press. Look, this forum here, you listening to us, you streaming us right now, we cover news of the day, as the title suggests, and people tune in. We've got news going on, and we will cover segments here and there. But we recognize on this show every day that while things may feel bad, most especially when you're in the moment, that this country still just freaking rocks. Look, we've all got questions about our future and where we're going. But I would tell you listening right now, speaking to different generations, like you felt that. Some people felt that in the 1990s. Some people felt that in the 80s. Some people felt that in the 70s and the turbulent 60s. Every decade, I mean, my gosh, think about how people felt during the world wars. There is always turmoil and questions. Today, it feels really exacerbated when you watch a 24-hour news network or just watch the news in general. And I think that part of that feeling is because so many of us recognize that a certain political affiliation does dominate a lot of the news outlets. And I think or hope that's why you tune in here. Now, I like to share with you kind of big, broad views and get questions and answers from people from all walks of life. But here, there's no qualms that on this station and on this show, the people that you're talking with, that we're interacting with here today, are people that love this country, recognize what this day is about, and have no qualms of saying that we are patriots. And so in recognizing that, I want you to know today, during our show here, I'll take calls from any of you who just want to share about your service to our country. Maybe you want to recognize someone that was lost while serving our country. And I'll take calls on that in any way, shape, or form that you want to chat tonight. The phone number is open, 239-479-5592. 239-479-5592. Love to hear from veterans, but also people who've lost loved ones. If you just want to talk about this country this day, you're in a safe area here, and you know that we can talk about that and share a lot of mutual feelings, and that even includes if we don't always see eye to eye on any of the political stuff or cultural stuff. And that's what I really love about this show, is that we undoubtedly are different from a lot of the mainstream media, and we encourage all kinds of voices, including those who want to talk about their love of America and what people have given for this country. And in doing so, all recognizing that is right now on Memorial Day, when we remember the sacrifice and the lives lost by the great men and women who served our country to make sure that they could secure our liberty here in this country today, where we are able to have these kinds of conversations that sometimes get heated between us, those of us who call ourselves conservatives, libertarians, Republicans, or whatever, and those who listen, who say that they're liberal or Democrat or progressive. We welcome all calls because of the freedom that we have to be able to talk like this. You're not going to be judged. You're not going to be, booted off. And all of this, again, recognizing this here on Memorial Day. The phone number is 239-479-5592. 239-479-5592. And in the 6 o'clock hour, we are going to have two interviews. One of them includes an interview that we run once a year. It's a Vietnam veteran by the name of George Rook. And George is a friend of the show. It's just an amazing, amazing man with stories that at times are very dark and simultaneously inspiring. We're going to have the same with another Vietnam veteran who lost his son in Afghanistan. That gentleman, Bill Eggers, will also be joining in the 6 o'clock hour, these interviews that we're going to have. Again, both Vietnam veterans, Bill in particular, though, a Gold Star father, who lost his son in Afghanistan in 2004. And in 2005, they named Camp Eggers after his son in Afghanistan, right in Kabul. So today, again, we'll take your calls on any memories you want to share, a story you want to share. We're open for you to do so. And again, we're going to have those interviews in the 6. We'll get to a little bit of news throughout the day as well. And we're also going to have Rich Kolko in, I believe, in about the 5:20 segment. Rich served our country as well in the Navy, and has some pretty powerful stories as well. Can I get to some calls here? Let me get to some calls. Let's go to... You're on the air. Go ahead. Who's this?
Hi, this is Bob Benji from Pine Island, Florida.
Hello, Bob in Pine Island. Tell us about yourself, Bob.
Well, I've been... it's not about me. It's about... I'm a veteran myself, but I'm it's not about me. It's about two good friends. One that I grew up with, Jim Moran. He was Jimmy Moran. He was always upbeat. He was always cheerful. He was laughing great all the time. He went to Vietnam, and he came back. He was a changed person, and he became a recluse, and we kept trying to keep in touch with him out in Arizona, and he just dropped out of sight. Nobody knows where he is, whatever happened to him, but he came back just mentally and emotionally a totally different person. And the other one was a good black friend of mine, Bernie Clare, and he wanted to set the record straight and get a whole great new start in life, and you couldn't get a better guy. And he got the chance to, if he would go into the service, he would come out with with a fresh start in life. And the poor guy, he went to Vietnam, and within months he got killed.
Yeah.
And I pray for those guys and all the other great vets throughout all the conflicts that we've had.
Yeah, Bob, we appreciate your stories, and it's stories like this. Two men. Interesting, he brings up too that a veteran who came home and post-Vietnam just couldn't re-enter into life, and again, even in just talking out these things, it really, really is important to recognize. I will say, undoubtedly, veterans and what they may be facing when it comes to PTSD, but anybody around you. If you see somebody that has become a recluse, that is withdrawn into themselves, and you think that they are facing any kind of depression whatsoever, you know what, Rich? I'm going to bring you in completely off the cuff here. This gets personal here for a second. Mm-hmm. You and I have a friend, I don't need to say his name right now, that we know in another state, that we just randomly happen to share this friend, and he has undoubtedly has had serious bouts of depression. You taught me something, actually, one time. We thought that our mutual friend was in a really dark place. You said, Trey, I reached out, I called him, and I asked him right away, and this is a powerful question, are you going to hurt yourself?
Right.
Now, you bring this up, I bring this up again in talking about so many men and women who have come home. Obviously, during Vietnam, we know the fallout that happened post-Vietnam and the lack of resources that our country had. Well, the country has tried so much more post-Iraq, Afghanistan, as well as other conflicts around the world, whether it's veterans coming home or somebody just in a deep bout of depression. You've dealt with this not only personally with other people, but also your time even at the FBI.
Sure, as a negotiator, that's one of the things they teach.
So that said, if there's someone out there recognizing that there might be somebody dealing with very serious bouts of depression, PTSD, what is your suggestion to them?
Well, the number one thing is people are scared to bring that up. Okay, they think by asking a person, do you intend to hurt yourself or are you going to kill yourself, that's going to maybe give them the idea that they didn't have and then go out and do it. And then the person that asked it ends up feeling horrific that something happened. That's not the reality. You asking that question to somebody is not what's going to give them the incentive to.
If they have the idea in their head, they've already had the idea
they've already
in their
had
head.
The idea. Right, and that little bit of a roadblock of somebody actually bringing that to the forefront, the elephant in the room. Are you thinking of hurting yourself? Are you thinking of killing yourself? That's maybe that pause that either helps them start to think about what they're doing, or it may be that pause where they will now say, "Gee, I am. Can you help me?" And now you've got an opportunity to find some assistance to that person, because if you can get them through that time,
Yep.
That may lead to a path that leads to getting better. The problem is that people that have an idea to hurt themselves or kill themselves, that idea comes and goes over time. So,
Yep.
so you may talk them off the ledge today, but that doesn't mean you can just drop
Sure.
it. You've got to continue that, staying involved with your friend or family member or neighbor who you think may be in that kind of trouble. You can't just say, "Well, they said no, and they're not going to do it." Unfortunately, it doesn't go away, or when it does go away, it might be a while. But that you can usually kind of tell if it does go away when they move on in life. Whatever tragedy is going on, whether it's personal, family, financial, health, that might go change in the next day, weeks, months, years, and then they go on to have long, happy, successful lives. But it's not an immediate answer.
And Rich, regarding your service to our country as well as the story that you have to share, I want to come back to that. We'll have Rich in the next segment. I want to get to another call. Rosie in Lehigh calling this Memorial Day here on The Drive. Hello, Rosie.
Hi, how are you?
All right.
Hey, what I want to say is basically I come from Cuba, from a communistic country, when the Peter Pan flights were coming over with children.
Yep.
It sickens me how these people in the United States who were born here with this freedom are just allowing the United States to ravel. It really does sicken me. I'm 65 years old, and I try to do my part, wear my patriotic shirts, and to show people and that this is a good country. It's a great country, but yet these people are destroying it, and it's like I said, it's just very aggravating for me.
Yep. Well, Rosie, one of the, I think, most sickening things that we've seen when it comes to the coverage of the political sphere of Cuban Americans in this country, Americans who come from from family or who immigrated here from Cuba, who consider themselves American and don't even put the hyphen in front of it. If there's anyone that should recognize the signs of a political party encroaching on freedom, you would think that the mainstream media would go to Cuban Americans, to Venezuelan Americans, to those who have fled these either tyrannical or at times soft tyrannical countries, even moving into what happened in Bolivia, Ecuador, and Argentina, where they've, kind of flirted with socialism in various ways over the past even just 2 decades. And yet, what we hear is that the Cubans voted for Trump because they like his machismo. I mean, to rid it, but it's funny, to hear that, and really it's condescending as hell. Because really, you're the expert. You and your family should be the ones at the front lines being interviewed about. Tell us what was going on as Fidel Castro began to rise up into power. Tell us, after Fidel and Raul seized power with their henchman, Che Guevara, who somehow, who is a homophobe and a racist, and a murderer, was regarded as some sort of hero. What did they begin to do? And the reality is, knowing Cuba and its modern history and Cuban politics well, is they started where Democrats have started, which is, first of all, threatening any kind of political speech or free speech in any form, and then beginning to turn the economy over to the state, whether it was private companies that Guevara tried to run farming industries in Cuba, to just taking over the economy in general, even if that's through this soft way of we're going to do it through a Green New Deal. All of it ends up in the same spot, and you, Rosie, clearly recognize that. Oh, yeah.
It's like I said, my parents sent us over here. I was 4.5. My sister was 9.
Real quick, if I want to go back to that, by the way, you brought up Peter Pan, and a lot of people might not know that, with the exception of the cartoon character. But what that was tens of thousands of minors, children who were not with their parents, were sent to the United States over a few-year period to come to America, where the parents felt that they would be safer from the tyranny of Fidel Castro in their own country, who came to power with a relentless grip over the country. And so you're sent there. You get sent to the United States. If I could just pick your brain really quickly here for a second. Did you reconnect with your parents? You come here alone. What happens after that?
Yes. Since the Bay of Pigs didn't go the way it was supposed to go, we became permanent student status here. We came through the Catholic Charities. We were in an orphanage down in Miami, St. Joseph's, for a short time, and then from there, we went to an orphanage up in Toledo, Ohio. From there, we went to a foster home, and for like 4.5 years. And my foster sister and my foster parents were the best people. Some my friends that came over here didn't have that kind of luck. You know what I'm saying? They had some mean people as foster parents. But we were very fortunate. Like I said, I still see my foster sister and stuff like that.
But did your parents eventually come over? How did you reconnect?
Yes, when I was, let me see. Going into my freshman year, my mom came over because they wouldn't allow my dad to come straight over here. He was like a political prisoner. Yep. And so he had to get a visa through Mexico because my aunt was staying there. Oh, wow. So he was able to go to Mexico, and then from there he had to be there for so long, I don't remember. And then from there he came to the United States about 1.5 years after my mom came. So, yeah, from my freshman year on, or my junior year on, I was able to be with my parents. And it's just the traumatic of them and what my dad went through and just connecting back as a teenager and, this kind of stuff. It's just, people just don't understand. I mean, they gave the ultimate sacrifice as far as a parent to let their children go, not even knowing if they'd see them again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to America, a land of promise and opportunity and of freedom. And that is a very powerful, I can't even, we are so in fear in our own country. Here's my child to essentially you, this country. That's powerful.
I became a citizen when I was, I would say, oh my gosh, in my late 20s, early 30s. It took me that long to do it. I had to pay. It wasn't free. I had to send $150 here, $150 there. It was not free. But let me tell you, the day that I became a citizen down in Miami, it was like I started crying. And the first day that I went to go vote, I was like, oh my God, I can actually do this. This is so exciting.
Yeah. Good for you. Rosie, I appreciate you sharing the story. Very, very powerful. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll have Rich Coco in studio with us, too, talking about his service to the country and some stories as well. We'll be right back. This is The Drive.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed. Mornings with Drew Stevens. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it. Guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Are you looking to build a boat dock, boat lift, or a seawall? Hello, I'm Jimmy Williamson of Williamson Brothers Marine Construction. My brother Joe and I, along with our children, represent the fourth generation of a tradition that began with my grandfather back in 1967. And it's a tradition of building something that you can be proud to put your name on. If you need a boat dock, boat lift, or seawall, call Williamson Brothers at 844-WB-BUILT. Our docks, boat lifts, and seawalls are constructed with materials that pass the test of time. We only use stainless steel fasteners, marine-grade aluminum boat lifts, and the strongest deck board in the industry, Wear Deck. It's the last deck board you will ever need. And lastly, our seawalls. We build them with enough concrete and steel that they come with a lifetime warranty. If you need a boat dock, boat lift, or a seawall, call Williamson Brothers at 844-WB-BUILT. We're online at WBDocks.com. That's WBDocks.com.
Hey, we're kicking it up a notch for Memorial Day here at Naples Nissan. Yes, you can still get the full original base MSRP for your 2012 or newer trade-in, regardless of what brand it is, where you bought it from, or whether you bought it new or used. But if you're not feeling that deal, then how does 0% financing for 60 months sound? That's right. You can take home one of these all-new, completely redesigned and loaded 2021 Rogue models today and pay 0 interest on it for 5 whole years. Have you checked out the all-new Rogue yet? I'm telling you, the redesign they did on this thing is hot, and oh, hey, we've got over 150 to choose from. Get the full original MSRP for your trade-in or pay no interest for 5 whole years. you choose when you come see us here at Naples Nissan on Pine Ridge Road or visit naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Introducing our King and Queen Cut prime rib specials, available Friday and Saturday nights at Seed to Table. The King Cut is over 22 ounces of tender Braveheart Angus prime rib with the bone in, served with mashed potatoes, green beans, horseradish, and au jus for $29.99. The Queen Cut is 14 ounces of boneless prime rib with the same delicious sides for $24.99. See you soon at Seed to Table.
Hey, this is Papa with our most important commercial in the past 30 years. Fox News just reported that several insurance companies are dropping their homeowners insurance in the state of Florida, and over 50,000 homeowners will lose their coverage, just as hurricane season is starting. Whether or not you will be affected immediately or down the road, you should call Papa for our free tile roof inspection so that we can put you on our proactive list. If we do find needed repairs, we'll make it affordable. If you then discover that you do need to find new insurance, at least we can make your roof look clean and in good shape. Once you get on our proactive list, we'll call you automatically if we get hit. If you do need emergency service, we can help you. License number CCC 1326213. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Kerry, and Cody, they say it's not too late to call Papa for our free inspection. You know the number, 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700. Don't procrastinate. It's not too late. Call Papa for a date. 945-2700.
Dr. Svetlana Kogan here, a board-certified internal medicine concierge physician on 5th Avenue South in Naples. Many of you wonder what holistic practice is. Well, good health is like a puzzle. It depends on how you perceive yourself, your environment, what you eat, your relationships, and lifestyle. It takes time and skill for the doctor to put these pieces of the puzzle together for you and come up with solutions customized to your specific needs. Holistic doctors believe that less medication is better and use preventive approach to keep you out of harm's way. This is also a concierge practice. Every patient gets my email and cell phone for emergencies and can be seen the same day if necessary. You are seen by me personally, and we take all the time that you need. You can visit my website, customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com to learn about how I, Dr. Svetlana Kogan, can help you feel healthy and balanced again.
92.5 Fox News.
.530 here on 92.5 Fox News. Trey Radel, your host of The Drive. Let me fix the camera here. You can always stream us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and more. For those of you streaming us, listening to us in studio with us, there's the man, Rich Kolko. Rich, on this Memorial Day, wanted to have you in. I know that, and you actually have a heck of a story. Not going to be all about you tonight, but I do want to share with. Look, today, undoubtedly, it's a solemn day. I think that a lot of people think about going out, having barbecue, burgers, hot dogs, and look, I would say that there are men and women in the armed service who probably say, "Damn right, I want people to be with their families, to hang out and enjoy this great country." But it is a solemn day where we recognize those who gave all. You served our country in multiple ways, not only with the United States Navy, which I'd love to hear your experience there, the FBI, more than 20 years, which is why we typically have you in, drawing on your experience there. You have a son serving, and you also have a story for us. So Rich Kolko with us right now, who is the Wink News Safety Security Specialist, on top of all of those things that I just shared. Rich, first of all, tell us about your experience. You flew in the Navy.
I flew in the Navy. I was a pilot in the Navy, land-based aircraft, P-3 Orions, big 4-engine turboprop, and I was in the 80s and very early 90s when our job was to hunt, detect, and destroy Soviet ballistic missile submarines.
So you would literally fly over the Atlantic I
spent most of my time on the left coast.
On the Pacific?
Yes.
And in doing that, let me just ask some questions for the layman, for people who have not served, for men and women listening right now, who are even a little fascinated with some of the service that's given, what you do a daily basis. How long are you in the plane?
Missions were 10, 12, 15 hours long on the plane.
So you can't fly 15 hours straight. How does it work? I mean, you just take shifts?
We would have 3 pilots and 2 flight engineers, so you could always sub out somebody.
And you're constantly rotating, flying above the Pacific Ocean.
200 feet over the water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 200 feet, 300 feet at night.
I'll get to the technicalities of it, but again, in terms of understanding this on a sort of daily basis, you just go to the back and go to bed?
In the airplane?
When you're rotating, yeah.
Yeah. There's two racks, as you'd say in the Navy.
Yep.
Beds in the back, and you just go take a rest, even though it's bumpy and choppy, and you learn how to sleep through that.
Sure. What kind of technology are you working with on there? Like, what can you share with us?
One thing that people that weren't experienced in the P3, for fuel savings, as soon as we got out, what's called on station, is we'd shut down one of the engines. So you look out the window and you see the propeller come to a stop.
Wow.
And so you take people out who had never not flown before and
look out and say, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, do that sometimes.
You totally mess
Shut
with
down
them.
number 1. And number 1 stops, and you fly around on 3 engines, and then you could actually go down to 2 engines when you got lighter on fuel. You would shut down the right engine, the number 4 engine, and fly. It was we would locate the Soviet submarines was our job, and you did it by dropping sonar buoys in the water, and these are microphones in the water, and there were special patterns that we would drop as we got closer to finding out where a submarine was, and there were 2 AWs, aviation warfare specialists, in the back, and they could hear the microphones and with their computers, and they could kind of triangulate where the submarines were, and once you found them, you would start tracking them, and then you would come up with an attack solution if it ever, came to that scenario. Because people don't realize that the number 1 mission of the United States Navy from 1945 until 1991, the end of the Cold War, was anti-submarine warfare, to stop the Soviets from launching nuclear ballistic missiles.
Wow.
So that's where all the money and all the technology and a lot of the resources went to.
And your son serves today.
My son is an officer in the Coast Guard. He had just deployed on his... I don't even know what deployment number 3 or 4. They're shorter than the Navy, but they're still arduous. He's been to some arduous places. He just shoved off Saturday and somewhere in the Atlantic today on his ship. So I look forward to hearing from him in a few weeks. Occasionally we'll get an email from him. That's different these days. And when I was there, they occasionally get on the computer and can send you an email.
Sure.
I would say that in his other deployments, his emails have never exceeded 3 sentences, but so it's just good to hear from him and know that he's out there and okay.
And you have 2 boys.
And I have 2 boys. My other boy works in the government up in D.C., so yeah.
And in recognizing today, and again, for those of you just joining us, Rich Kolko in studio with us, who served, as you've just heard, in the Navy, also served our country in the FBI for more than 2 decades, which is why we typically have him in. And in the 6 o'clock hour, we're going to hear from 2 Vietnam veterans, 2 separate interviews, both at times dark, moving, inspirational. One of those Vietnam veterans is a Gold Star father. His son was killed in action in Afghanistan. Again, we will have those at 6 o'clock. And Rich, in doing this, we've encouraged callers to call in with stories of loved ones. You have a story as well, please.
I have a story that still it does choke me up when I think about it and tell it. It was March of 1991, and I was stationed at Moffett Airfield, which is out near San Jose, Mountain View, California. Now, Google and Apple are there now. I had actually gotten up that morning and flew an airplane up to Seattle to pick up a Navy band to bring them back to our base for a change of command ceremony. And as we were coming back into land, we were told not to shut down. We were going to do a hot refuel. And
tell us what that means.
The fuel trucks come up to the airplane. You don't want to shut down because shutting down and refueling the airplane can take a good amount of time. They needed us to take off right away again because there'd been a mid-air collision down off Southern California. 2 P-3s collided mid-air. It took the lives of 27 men. It was the worst training accident since World War II, naval aviation training accident, actually. And we were going to take off on a search and rescue mission. So while they were refueling the airplane, we had the opportunity to get off, go to the, get something to drink, get a restroom break, whatever. But everybody was, secondary. We wanted to, call our families and let them know we're okay. And we walked into the hangar, and it was an old blimp hangar, biggest thing you've ever seen, a hangar. And there were just some phone booths. This is pre-cell phone days. And there had to be 100 guys in line at I don't remember how many payphones there were, 4 or 5 at best. And everybody was in line to get on the phone, and they got on, dialed mom, dad, wife, whoever. Mom, I'm okay, don't have time to talk, gotta go, click. Nobody spent an extra 15 seconds on the phone because they saw the other 50 or 100 guys behind them that all needed to do exactly the same thing. And of course, as soon as you got on the phone, mom, dad, wife, whatever, wanted to ask, what's going on, what happened, who, just no information. Just want you to know I'm okay.
Bye.
I'll call you later.
Yep.
And it was
I love you, bye.
Everybody followed that rule, and everybody 30 seconds on the phone. That was it. It was, and we took off and went and looked for, as did a bunch of other airplanes, and unfortunately, nothing was really found other than a little debris. And I had 2 friends. One I went through flight school, and one had been my roommate for quite a while.
That you lost in that accident?
Yeah, we had it was March. I think we had gone our separate apartments. I think the accident was March 21st. I think March 1st we had gone to different apartments. So we just stopped being roommates a few weeks earlier.
Oh, wow.
He was getting married, or he had just gotten married. And, but yeah, so I still think about that. As a matter of fact, 91, which was at the 30-year anniversary, so a bunch of Facebook stuff a couple months ago.
21. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that was my story. But my dad served in the Navy for a few years.
Tell us about your son. So your son's in the Coast Guard.
My son's in the Coast Guard. I did my time, and then my son. I did my time active reserve. I'm happy I retired from the reserves.
Look, while this, one of the things I do love about this show is, while we all, undoubtedly, I think that 99.9% of the listeners to this show in particular rally around America. We love our country. Yep. May not all identify as whatever dumb political term you want to give us in the moment. But I do know, too, that this show has a lot of people that listen that might not be that familiar with the military, that might not know all the ins and outs. And some might think Coast Guard, the Coast Guard just kind of putzes around the Keys, and they putz around, maybe they cover, I don't know, Galveston, Texas, or I don't know, do they even do San Diego when you got all the Navy there anyway? And the Coast Guard gets deployed internationally.
They do. They're in the South China Sea.
And in fact, there was just an incident.
Right, Persian Gulf.
Tell us about that.
The Coast Guard is deployed all the way to the Persian Gulf in a convoy with the U.S. Navy. And I forgot something, 30 small Iranian craft were approaching the Navy ships in a hazarding way. And the Coast Guard, which is the picket ship, the outboard ship on either side, they're the ones that fired the warning shots to get rid of the Iranians.
And this is video that some of you may have seen on social media. It's just happened a few weeks ago. These Iranian planes came.
Boats.
I'm sorry, boats came in aggressively, and you see the actual,
Yeah.
I mean.
And my son has classmates. My son's a Coast Guard Academy graduate. He has got classmates on that ship.
That are there?
Yeah, that are there.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, not his year, I think the year ahead. But
share with people listening right now, there has to be a mix of pride and fear with having a child serve, I would imagine.
Oh, immense pride. From the day he accepted his appointment to the academy to graduation, which meant a lot. Unfortunately, it was interrupted by COVID. So it was
sure.
A graduation in the front yard, but still immense pride. And then him getting assigned to a boat, a ship, and out of Maine, a 210-foot ship, or a 270-foot. I'm sorry, 270-foot ship, a large ship, crew of over 100 people on it. And his first appointment was up above the Arctic Circle, the first what they call white hull. They've got obviously the icebreakers go up there, but they sent one of the cutters up there and did an Arctic Circle patrol, because now they want to face off against the Russians and to see who owns or controls above the Arctic Circle. So Coast Guard will have a lot of that mission. And knowing that he's
what's
up
old
there,
is new again.
Yeah, but knowing he's you can have kids that take a million different jobs after college, and some of them can be dangerous. But I know, knowing that every minute of every day, is dangerous for him in one way or another. And I don't mean by getting into battle, but just operating ships under arduous conditions, under difficult, complex conditions can be very, very dangerous.
I mean, I think that you've highlighted that with the training exercise out of California. I mean,
27 guys died, yeah.
And that's what we recognize today, again, here on this Memorial Day. And we'll take your calls.
I just got a text message from him. They just anchored.
Your boy just texted right now?
Yep, just texted right now. He just got off the East Coast.
Too. And texting, not even email.
Texting, yeah.
Hey, what's up, home? Is there any length to that one?
Anchored off of, I don't want to say where his ship is.
Sure.
They said anchored off of and told me where he's anchored. So that was the extent of it. And I said, did you drive? Meaning, did you on the bridge? Were you control as an officer, still fulfilling his qualifications to get qualified as what's called the OOD, officer of the deck, underway. He needs that qualification. And he said, not yet. So I heard from him just in the last few minutes while we're here together.
Nice.
So that makes me happy knowing he's out there today.
And there's a bit of relief as well in following up on what we just we talked about. Rich, thanks, man.
Sure.
Always good to have you in. If you'd like to share any stories on this Memorial Day, phone number is 239-479-5592. 239-479-5592. We'll take your calls on this Memorial Day. Anything at all that you'd like to share about our great country, friends, family, who gave all. Your story, please feel free to call us. Next segment, too, we will cover a little bit of news of the day, including one thing that I was just very curious to kind of sort out, which is whether or not a business can deny you entry if you don't have the so-called vaccine passport. This is something that Governor DeSantis is battling with right now, specifically with the entire cruise industry, which brings in billions, not even millions, billions of dollars to the state of Florida, specifically a little bit in Tampa, but more specifically Port Everglades and Fort Lauderdale and the Port of Miami. We'll talk about that and more. Phone number is 239-479-5592. One other thing, too, that as I think about it regarding vaccine passports or whatever, I am curious to always hear from anyone who might be experiencing something like that. Do you work at a business where they've told you have to have the vaccine? Have you been to any places where they've told you you're not getting in without the vaccine? One of the more prominent news stories that we can also touch on that just happened in Tampa, just north of us, is you can go to a concert at whatever concert venue hall that they've got there, and if you have the vaccine, it's $18. If you don't have the vaccine, can anyone guess the price? I'll tell you when we come back. That's what we call tease. Phone number is 239-479-5592. 239-479-5592. I'm Trey Radel. This is The Drive. We'll be right back.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's a hot afternoon, and you're listening to the news. And now you're hot under the collar, too. I'm Matt from Island Air. When you choose an AC contractor, you're entrusting that company with the air that you and your family breathe. A healthy unit means a healthier household. Island Air has a long history in Southwest Florida and hundreds of customer reviews that you can see on our website at islandairfl.com, where you will see the Island Air difference. Want to try us out? Our $99 System Saver one-time maintenance is guaranteed. If your AC breaks within 6 months of the maintenance, we will credit the payment towards any repair. Island Air also offers free second opinions. Let us review your quote for any service, replacement, or repair for your peace of mind.
IslandAirFL.com. That's IslandAirefL.com. IslandAirefL.com or call 239-645-4668. That's 239-645-4668. License number CAC 057544.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skill sets to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm here to pick up your daughter.
Are you a lawyer, Steve?
Nope.
You a doctor?
No.
What do you do, Steve?
I work for Rock Solid Countertops and More.
Wait, did you say Rock Solid Countertops?
Yes.
That's where you get a free sink?
You sure do.
And you get free materials for your bathroom, only paying for installation?
Yes.
Come on in, Steve.
At Rock Solid, your sink is free, along with free bathroom countertop materials. Just pay for installation when you get kitchen countertops. Rock Solid, JNC Boulevard, Naples, rocksolidnaples.com or 596-7676. Rock Solid, where you always get more.
Your home is more important now than ever before. So when your air conditioner needs maintenance, repair, or replacing, Conditioned Air wants to be your first and only call. The Florida weather can be challenging. When you have a cooling issue, our team is here to resolve it quickly and efficiently. You can be assured of honesty, respect, and our desire to exceed your expectations every single time, and we've been doing that since 1962. Conditioned Air, 1-888-COLD-AIR, or online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is the best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. They will not be undersold. Start with a free consultation. PlantationShuttersForYou.com. And God bless everyone.
Hey, we're kicking it up a notch for Memorial Day here at Naples Nissan. Yes, you can still get the full original base MSRP for your 2012 or newer trade-in, regardless of what brand it is, where you bought it from, or whether you bought it new or used. But if you're not feeling that deal, then how does 0% financing for 60 months sound? That's right. You can take home one of these all-new, completely redesigned and loaded 2021 Rogue models today and pay 0 interest on it for 5 whole years. Have you checked out the all-new Rogue yet? I'm telling you, the redesign they did on this thing is hot. And oh, hey, we've got over 150 to choose from. Get the full original MSRP for your trade-in or pay no interest for 5 whole years. You choose when you come see us here at Naples Nissan on Pine Ridge Road or visit naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
92.5 Fox News.
Trey Radio, your host of The Drive here. Before we get to our 6 o'clock hour and or to get some ridiculousness of the day, and hello to those of you texting us, streaming us. You can call us anytime. Phone number is 239-479-5592, 239-479-5592. Let me get to a gun story first. I mean, this is America where, damn it, you carry a gun. So during the riots of 2020, as we were in this insane COVID lockdown and people were losing their minds, riots break out, cities are on fire, businesses and homes are getting looted, undoubtedly gun sales went through the freaking roof. And rightfully so. People wanted to protect themselves and their private property. Okay, the millions of people that purchased guns were not, as the left would put you, me, us. They weren't, well, they're just buying those guns because they fear a tyrannical government. No, they fear no government at all. The police are either being told to stand down, defunded as we speak across the United States, or there is just complete and utter chaos. And with that chaos comes people purchasing guns to protect themselves when the police can't. The numbers are still huge. Americans, quoting here, have been on an unusual prolonged buying spree of guns fueled by the coronavirus pandemic, the protests last summer, and the fears that they both stoked, because it's all fear. Your fear living in downtown Minneapolis, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, insert city is just it's a fear, and it, probably is unreasonable. as you watched your own city burn down. It was 1 week ago, 1 year ago, that we broke all kinds of records for people purchasing guns. Was the record for federal background checks at 1.2 million, the most that there had ever been since the government began keeping records in 1998. A fifth of all Americans who bought guns last year were first-time gun owners, which that's a huge number. I mean, again, when you're talking about all of these guns that are being purchased, a fifth new owners. New owners less likely than usual to be male and white. Half were women. Fifth were black. Fifth were Hispanic. And so what they're saying is, again, it's not just the Proud Boys. It's not just the white, crazy, far-right militias that are out there buying guns. It's people that want to protect themselves. And in all of this, it is still not recognized that, like, that's what a gun can do or even deter when it comes to protecting yourself, deterring violence, deterring your place from being looted, your family from being injured, whatever it may be. Now, there's a crazy part to this article that I'm reading. And here's how it goes. Americans are on a buying spree for guns. And then think about what I quoted here. They're doing it because of the fears that have been stoked by the pandemic and the protests. Did anybody need to stoke a fear given what happened in all of our major cities last year? No, there's no stoking it. It happened, and it's a legitimate fear. So they go over this article here about how, look at all of these people buying guns. And look, it's not even all white people. It's black people, Hispanic people, and it's not even all men. It's women. The next line in the same story is 2 people were killed and 20 to 25 others injured in a shooting in Miami. Now, this is the nonsensical way that the media begins to build a narrative. Like, I want you to just take these two apart. So what happened in Miami, just for a brief background in that, was in like Kendall, South Miami, there were like hundreds of people waiting in line for a hip hop concert. They're out there, they're waiting to get in line, ready to go. Oh, gonna have a great night, Memorial Day weekend in Miami. And a white SUV rolls up and just sprays, boom, 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 firing some form of semi-automatic handgun. So whether it's a Glock, a SIG, whatever, they have their guns in their hands. They point them out the SUV and just begin indiscriminately firing on the crowd. 2 people get killed, as many as 25 people injured. This is like the quintessential definition of senseless violence, or whatever kind of political cliche you want to use. And they tie that in to the same set of gun owners who are purchasing their weapons to protect themselves, their family, and their private property. Again, I understand why the Second Amendment was created, what the Founding Fathers had in mind after what they had seen in their history. Of course, I understand that. I get it and believe in that. I just, though, think that there are millions now, especially, of people who came to grips with, hey, it's good that we are allowed to purchase something that will protect me, my family, and my private property to go against some of the psychotic masses that we saw in 2020. During that summer, it was men and women, mostly men, who some of them weren't even armed. But do you know how dangerous a mob like that can be? I shared this story with you. I think it was last year at about this time when there was a massive group of people who started walking from the south side of Chicago up to what they call the Magnificent Mile in downtown Chicago, where all the fancy stores are and nice restaurants are. And it started as a Black Lives Matter protest. and they marched from the south side, and by 6 a.m. they were looting the Magnificent Mile in broad daylight. The sun was coming up over Lake Michigan, and they were looting. And I share with you, I talked with a buddy who watched it live as people began to get closer and closer to his neighborhood. You know what he left me with? Trey, I need to talk with you again when things calm down because I need to buy a gun, and I'd like to get your advice on that. And he, as I've just cited here, is one of those 1.5 million people that did just that. When we come back, we'll talk about these vaccine passports, what the governor's done, what businesses can or cannot do. We'll finish up with that news of the day at the beginning of the 6th, and we've got two guests who are going to make time for as well. I'm Trey Radel. This is The Drive.
.92.5 Fox News.
Before buttons, things were much harder, like starting an outboard motor. Come on. Or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
You probably know Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Wink Weather Authority.
For this evening, heads up, scattered showers and storms will be possible with temperatures into the 80s and then 70s for your Tuesday morning. Rainy season now in full swing. We will be rinsing and repeating for the rest of the work week towards the weekend. Daily rounds of hit or miss scattered showers and storms with high temperatures into the lower 90s. With Wink News, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I am mad at everything going on.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. So my wife and I go searching for something that sounds so simple, but is seriously critical in your home, especially when you have kids. Carpet. Now, we knew that we needed something that would stand up to wear and tear and sweat and dirt. That's because we have a boy. And I'll also say it, pee and poop. Why? We have twin toddlers. So we went with the best, Brits Carpet. You can find them at britscarpet.com, and they have it all. Not only carpet, but more than 300 styles and colors of luxury vinyl plank. Now, this stuff is incredible. It's waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof. It stands up strong, and it just looks great. It comes with a 20-year warranty as well. Brits Carpet. They've got two locations, Cape Coral on Pine Island Road, next to Mel's, and in Fort Myers, just south of Bell Tower. Go to britscarpet.com and call them today. Again, britscarpet.com, and tell them that Trey sent you. They'll take care of you.
Because it's my vision, I take the most studied eye vitamin brand.
Because it's my vision, I take the eye vitamin brand backed by 20 years of research.
Because it's my vision, I take PreserVision.
Age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of vision loss in adults over 60. That's why the National Eye Institute did 20 years of clinical studies on the formula that's found in PreserVision. From the eye experts at Bausch & Lomb, PreserVision AREDS 2 formula eye vitamins contain the exact nutrient formula recommended by the National Eye Institute to help reduce the risk of moderate to advanced AMD progression.
Because it's my vision, I made a plan with my doctor that includes PreserVision. Find PreserVision in the vitamin aisle. Available at Walmart.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
92.5 Fox News. This is The Drive with Trey Radel.
.602 here on 92.5 Fox News. Trey Radel, your host of The Drive. If you were considering heading to Fort Myers Beach or traveling anywhere around there, there is some sort of incident. It's details not confirmed. Some sort of a crime scene active there. So you may want to avoid going there right now. That's all I've got for you. I would suggest to you that Wink News, our sister station, is covering it right now. Not many details. They've got a crew en route to Fort Myers Beach. All we know is it's somewhere around the Lani Kai area. Some form of a crime incident. That's about all I've got. I wish I could have more confirmed with you, but we know that there's a lot of BDs that are kind of swarming that area right now, which will back up traffic and more. And somebody actually also hit us up here on to tell us that as well, watching us on YouTube. Rick, if you have more info, you can shoot us some. Feel free to. Again, but avoid the Lani Kai. Is that something I need to tell you? I'm just kidding. That has been hosting a rowdy crowd of spring breakers and more, and people that think it's spring break all year round, and hosting other various bacteria around the hotel area as well. So that's all that we know. If there's anything more going on, we'll fill you in here. That's all I've got. Any war stories of the Lani Kai? No, on both ends there. Some other news of the day before we get to some two guests that we've got here, two Vietnam veterans who are going to be on with us, who won a Gold Star Father on this Memorial Day. I wanted to chat about this vaccine passport situation and what's going on. First of all, can a business deny you entry if you do not have a vaccine passport? Now, first of all, what the heck's a vaccine passport? And the first one that you get a card that the CDC gives you, and that has the actual formal CDC seal on it. And it's an official looking thing that if you have, certain places will say that you can come into our business. We're not going to shut you down from entering, but you have to sit in this section. The most prominent example of this happening in the state of Florida is with the Miami Heat. The basketball team there, as the NBA has said it's fine, and the basketball team has said that what they're going to do is if you have a card, an official CDC card saying that you've been vaccinated, you can sit in, quite frankly, really good seats at the American Airlines Arena there in downtown Miami. If you don't, you can sit in other sections. And there are some cities and states around the country that have done this, where you've got sections of clean and unclean, vaxxed and unvaxxed.
Do you think they got a study? They did a study or something that showed that maybe that people would be more apt to go to the games if they knew they had a clean section to sit in? Because I don't see this as a big draw. As a matter of fact, I see this as losing some people out of the crowd with a game like this. I don't know.
So no, there's no studies no data at least that I know of at all. And I look for that type of nerdy stuff, right, all the time. Like even on the marketing aspect of it, of what you're getting at, is there marketing data that shows like, wow, if these people say only these people can come in, what do they do? As we've progressed, there are more high-tech options. There's this thing called the Commons Project, which takes all of your information and states that it's secure, and it puts you into like a QR code, like a mobile. You know, when you go to, if you ever use a mobile app, a Delta, American, United, and you've got your plane ticket right on your phone, they just scan it right there. And that's what this is becoming, where you're going to have your vaccine passport on your phone. Now, Texas and Florida have made laws saying that you can't have them. In Florida, Governor DeSantis and the Republican legislature went all out and said, you just can't do it. They are now in a lawsuit and a battle with the cruise industry. The cruise industry saying, sorry, but this is how we want to function. We are the way that they'd say it is we're a different type of business that ends up placing a bunch of people, onto this boat, this floating city where we are all exposed to each other through the air, in contact with each other and more. And we want to make sure that our people that are boarding this, any clients, any customers, have the vaccine. But that's one of those things, like if you're the Republican legislature, you're going to get knocked if you give them a carve-out. They did not. I will tell you, though, this is just a very quick side note. Do you know, if you're even remotely familiar with the law that Governor DeSantis championed and the Republican legislature put in regarding social media? They're doing some things that I think are at least worth discussion. I think they overstep their boundaries in some ways, where they're saying that you cannot deplatform a candidate or a sitting incumbent politician because we know what will end up happening, and as we've seen, even not just anecdotally, statistically, where Republicans will get deplatformed more in what is more and more of, the common ground, the public square. And so they carved out a niche and said that certain social media companies will be exempt from this. And Disney, having an interactive area on their websites, was exempted from it. And of course, it's Florida. I mean, it's one of those things. To go back to the vaccine passports, the cruise industry suing the state right now. We'll see where that ends up, if they even get a carve out through the courts. Texas has done something interesting, actually. They said that no government agency or private entity, here's the nuance, receiving government funds can ask for a vaccine passport. That if you get any funds from the government or your government agency, you can never mandate any kind of proof of the COVID-19 vaccination. It also gets a little difficult where fines come in, where they do or don't come in, and how it's even policed. But I would be interested in here. You can always email me, Trey at 925foxnews.com. Look, you can use a fake email. I'm not here to question anything. But if you email me with your regular email, I'm never going to give your name away or announce anything. I would never do that. But if you know businesses, I'm very curious to hear that are demanding. You get a vaccine if you're going to work here. Demanding you have to have a vaccine before you walk in here. We always want to know about it. Very curious to hear about that. Whether or not we could report on it, have an owner on as well, or even Wink News could do a story in conjunction. We're going to take a break here because we have two interviews coming up. The first interview that you're going to hear is with a gentleman by the name of Bill Eggers. You may have heard of Camp Eggers in Kabul, Afghanistan, named after his son. This is a Vietnam veteran who's also a Gold Star father. We're also going to have an interview that we try to play about once a year with a gentleman and a friend of the show named George Rook, a Vietnam veteran. Both of them have some stories that are dark and inspirational at the same time, and you'll want to stick around for that. Our interview with Bill coming up next. This is The Drive. I'm Trey Radel.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while